Good morning, everybody. This is Robin from Roaming with Rover, and today is Friday, so this is Finish It Friday. Thank you guys so much for popping in today. I know you're busy, and I do appreciate you spending some time with us. What did we accomplish this week? Well, we got a little bit done, but not a whole lot. I knew it was going to be one of those weeks. I had a lot of meetings this week, and one of the grands is in town. She's got her wedding reception this weekend, so we've been busy doing that kind of stuff. It is a beautiful day, but it's noisy. I never know what the traffic's going to be like when I come out here, but it's just so much nicer out here than sitting in the living room. So I like to do these out here while I can. Pretty soon, it's been in the hundreds for weeks, but it won't be long. It'll be too chilly for me to come out here. In fact, I had to put long sleeves on this morning. So, what do we have to talk about? All right, we've got a lot. I guess we'll do this first. So, isn't that pretty? I love this bag. This is the bag that I got from Alaska. And I like it because you can see what your project is inside. And what my project in this little bag is my Mosaic Crochet. Yep, got my Mosaic Crochet sampler done. So this is just a little mug rug that we did up. We're doing the Learn How to Mosaic Crochet with me. We're doing the lives with Michelle from Mosaic Crochet and More is teaching us how to do this. And so this week, this Wednesday afternoon at 4 o'clock p.m. Pacific, we're going to learn how to deal with the ends. So that's the fun thing with Mosaic Crochet is you don't have to weave in all these ends, because who wants to do that? And in fact, that's what put me off for a long time from learning it. And I'm hearing that's also the same thing with a lot of other people. They didn't want to deal with the ends, not knowing that you don't have to. So the options we have is to turn this into fringe. And I'm not a big fan of fringe, but it's kind of cute on this. And the other option, which is what I want to do, is we learn this technique where we fold it in the ends on the edging when we finish it off. Pretty excited about that. So this Finish It Friday is complete for this week, ready to go for the next stage. All right. And then let's see something that we only worked on a little bit. And that is the Cocoon Sweater. As you know, the Cocoon Sweater has been giving me fits, and I've had to tear it back a couple of times, and I seem to be on the right path finally. So here we are again with the Cocoon Sweater, just a big old granny square. And I did have to tear it back 2 or 3 rows. I don't remember if that was last week or 2 weeks ago, but I did not work on it a lot this week. A little bit, but not a lot. And the reason is this is just a fill-in project for when I don't have a lot going on, or I don't have to pay close attention. That's what that is for. When I don't have to pay a lot of attention, it's a simple pattern. I was never in a situation this week where I could take it with me and just sit and work on it. So I did a little tiny bit, but not a whole lot. Again, using my furls hook on that one. I don't think I said on the other one. This is my furls eye hook. Okay. Put that in there. Now, we are going on a car trip next weekend. Yeah, next weekend. So we may not have Finish It Friday because I won't have all my stuff with me. But I'll take a couple projects with me and work on them in the car, and we'll see how far along we get with those. Did I show you the hook I was using on this one? On this one, I'm using my hook that was made for me. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, this Crystal, the Yarny chicken and cat lady, made that for me and sent that to me as a surprise. And it was the perfect size for this project. So I was very excited about that. Okay, next, the Darla sweater. All right. Last week I made pretty good progress on that. This is the hook I'm using. Isn't that pretty? It's my J Furls hook. And I'm lucky that it just happened that every one of these has a little bit different size hook. So this was the sweater that I showed you last week, the Darla sweater, top down, my first top, and I did not touch this week. Made a lot of progress on it last week and set it down, and I felt I had other deadlines this week that I needed to deal with the very little bit of crocheting that I got done. I still love this thing. I do, but did not work on it one stitch this week, so it's exactly the same as what you saw last week. Still love it. It's so pretty. The yarn is so soft. And when I was digging through some things, I found more of this yarn. I found some in a white. I think they call it whipped cream, something like that. It's a very pretty white color. And I also found some in a darker color, more almost, no, it's more brown than this. I was gonna say almost that color, that darker color, but it's more brown. I think they call it, going from memory here, I believe they call it cappuccino, but I could be wrong. But anyway, I found some more skeins of this tucked away in a drawer, so I was excited about that. Yeah, maybe even more like this color, maybe a tad darker, but I did like it a lot, and I was very excited when I found that. Let's put this away. Have not used, of course I haven't got very far. Haven't got very far on this, but I'm still on my first cake. Let's see, how much have we used? Oh, hardly any of it. So that's how much I've got left from my first cake, and this is how big they were to start with. So I haven't used a lot. And I've got another hook in here because as we get farther down on this, let me show ya what we're supposed to be doing. So this is the top here, like this. Then it grows, and then when it get to the middle of the body, and then we just go straight down from there. So we go out from here, we're going out like this, and then when it gets as wide as I want it, then I start going straight down. And then we change hook sizes to give it a little more looseness, a little more flow. So that's why I've got a couple of hooks in here. And I want to say we even change again. So I think we use 3 hook sizes on this one. And that's how it gets its flowiness. It is a little chilly out here this morning. Just a little bit. I want to thank you guys for supporting me and my channel. We have grown so much in the last few months, and it's all because of you, and I really appreciate that. When you guys like a video, it helps a lot. When you guys subscribe to a video, it helps tremendously, and none of those things cost anything. I've got a friend, and I'm like, did you like the last video? And she's like, I can't get on, they always want to charge me. No, they only try to sell you a product to remove commercials, and other than that, all of YouTube is free, and it's because of the commercials that it's free. So when those little commercials come on, watch them for 30 seconds and then pass them by. I get it, but YouTube is completely free, and it's an amazing platform that we are allowed to have access to be able to communicate with you guys, hopefully to give you some enjoyment. So that's my commercial for today. What else do we have that we worked on? Okay, this, I love this. This, I'm using my G Plus hook, so it's a little bit smaller. It's a smaller hook. And this is from Spring, the Fiber Enthusiast. This is her crochet along, and I'm using little bitty thread. Oh, I didn't bring out the main. The yarn that I'm using came in a package with all these little donuts. It's like 6 different shades of purple of the donuts. Well, I just grabbed the donut that I'm working on and I put it on my spindle and I work from here. So I didn't grab the rest of my colors this morning when I was putting stuff together to come out here. So week 1, I'm working on week 2, and this is where I'm at. Isn't that pretty? That is turning out so beautiful. Look at that. So beautiful. Got a few threads, not too bad. So you can see here's the first color. It's funny that these are considered purples, but when you put them next to the purples, and then that was the second color. When you put them next to the purples, you can definitely see they're in the purple family. And now I'm working on the third color. There, now you can see all 3 of the colors real well. So, of course, I messed it up. And I was really, really trying to get through week 2. So I'm working on week 2. Week 3 was released on Monday. Week 4 is going to be released in a couple of days, and that's the last one. So I'm on week 2 of 4. And I was really trying to get this done so I show you guys week 2. And then I was 2 rows beyond where I am right now, and I saw a big mistake. A big mistake. So I had to tear it all out. And I tore it back to right here. Yeah, it was a big mistake. Like totally what I had done. I don't know how I did that. I have no idea how I do these things. But this is, you can see I'm chaining in these little loops right here. And what I had done is I had made it was looking like this. I was doing double crochets. That's what I did. I was doing double crochets instead of single crochets in these loops. And we're creating these loops because on the next row, we work in these loops. And I held it up and I'm like, oh no. As soon as, you know how it is. You can't see it at all when you're working on it. And then 2 rows later, boom, there it is. So I had to tear it out. And boy, this did not want to frog very well. It was really, and I'd had where I had to tie it together and where I had knotted it. Boy, that was a battle to get that undone without ruining the yarn. I almost cut it out. I thought I was going to have to just grab a chunk of this thing and cut because I couldn't. I probably spent half an hour trying to get that one little stitch untangled. And you're already frustrated because you're having to undo, your whole evening's amount of work. I should have just set it down and did it in the morning. But isn't this beautiful? I still love it. Even with the struggles I'm having, I still love it. And Spring's Crochet Along it's beautiful. And her instructions are very, very well. Any of the mistakes that have occurred are because of me. 100% because of me. So I get to going too fast, and I also need to write it down. And I love, tell me what your guys' opinion is on this subject matter. I read patterns, and sometimes you struggle with patterns that you're reading because of the way they're written or because of they're too complex. And I'm going to show you an example of that in a minute. But then you go to a video and they explain, and I had to do that. I had to do that on the Christmas blanket. I'll tell you about that. You get to the video and they explain what they're talking about, and then you see the pattern. You're like, oh, now that makes sense. I find that a really good way of the combination of the 2 sources, a written pattern and a video. So here's where I struggle. I get a written pattern and there'll be some kind of instruction in it that just doesn't make sense to me. Like this bead stitch. I read it, I tried it. I did not know what they wanted me to do. Well, I was missing one tiny little step that just wasn't, the way they wrote the pattern wasn't explaining it the way my little brain needed to know it. And so as soon as I saw her do it one time, I'm like, oh, I see what it says. So that's the drawback of a written pattern. For me, the drawback of a video, even the most well-made video, is I'm going to get instructions here let me turn this thing around. I'm going to get instructions here to do this and this and this and this and this and this and this. And then she'll say, reasonably so, follow through to the end. I'll meet you at the end and we'll talk about what you do there. That's fine. Until I set this thing down and pick it up 3 days later and have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing. And now I don't have a written pattern to go, oh, this is where I am right here. Now I have to get my tablet or my phone and find the video and try to find that spot, because YouTube doesn't always take you to the exact spot where you were when you're watching a video, and then find that spot. And sometimes, because it sort of looks the same from row to row, sometimes I have to watch her do a couple of rows to get to the right spot. Or I'm too far forward, or I'm too far back, especially when you got to tear out and find where you were. So that's my struggle with patterns that are video only. Is basically just trying to find my place. And sometimes I have to rewind it a couple of times to see exactly what she's done. So sometimes I will take a video pattern and actually write it out as they go along. But this one there was just too much because every single row is different. So I did not do that with this one. If I was smart, I would have my little notebook, which I usually have a notebook in every one of these bags, and I make all these little notes for each pattern that I'm working on. And for some reason, and I know why, it's because I carry this around like this so much, I don't even have my little bag with me. Even if I just marked the spot in the video that I'm at right now, it would help tremendously. And that's what I need to do. That is what I need to do. Or when she says, do this and this and this and this, and follow me to the end, I could just write that little bit down. Yeah. So that, it's all on me, and I'm so visual, but at the same time, my memory is just shot. And so that's my struggle with the videos. And it doesn't matter how well made they are, I still cannot remember 3 days from now what I was doing from a video. And even the easy videos, well, you saw the struggles I had with this thing, and I had to go back and watch the video. Every time I got to that joining corner, every time I had to pull the video up and see exactly what I got to do on this one little stitch. I finally have that memorized, but that's just the way my mind works these days. So anyhow, I'm loving the shawl, and I'm almost sad that we're getting towards the end of it. I don't know how much bigger that's going to be. I like my shawls big. I'm afraid, although once you block this thing, it's going to grow significantly. So we'll see. This might end up being a beautiful, beautiful gift for someone, because it is beautiful. Absolutely stunning. The puppies are at the door. They want to come out with me. I locked them in. Okay, and the star of the show, the actual finish it project, is the Christmas blanket. And if you guys will remember from last week, I was struggling with stripe 10. Somehow it had ended up backwards, and the whole thing was a mess. And I had torn it out and redone it 3 times before I finally figured out. And one of you guys pointed out in the video where my mistake was. No, I did not go back and fix it because it was many, many rows back. So I was trying to redeem myself this week. Okay. The blanket, it's really turning out pretty. And one of you guys pointed out to me my mistake was here in this row. That's supposed to have been solid there, not tearing that all out. I can live with that. And now when I make the next one, I'll pay extra close attention, because I do have another one in progress. That'll be a different Finish It Friday. Okay, so this was the row I was working on. and I really like it. And you get this rib design from a front post, back post pattern. And normally when you're doing front post, back post, it looks the same on both sides. But on this one, and somebody was trying to help me with it, and I didn't explain myself well, as usual. So you're doing a front post, and then when you turned it around to the other side, you see that pattern isn't there. So here's the front pattern, and there's the back pattern. Because when I turned it, when I'm doing this side, I was doing a front post. When I was doing this side, I was doing a back post. So the pattern was actually all being worked on this side. And that was the problem. The first time I finished it, this ended up on the front side, and I couldn't live with that. So I finally figured it out and got that part finished. And I love this pattern. I really, wouldn't that make a pretty edging on the end of a blanket? You have to remember that, because that'll make a beautiful edging on the end of a blanket. So then, to catch up, I moved on to the next row, which is number 11, row 11. And row 11 is, why do I struggle with this? It's called, they don't always call it everything. Oh, this was the bead stitch. And this is what we were doing. That's what it's supposed to look like. And this is the front. I want to make sure I don't lose my hook in this process. And that's how it ended up. Can you see the bead stitch right in here? I like that stitch. I like the way it looks. I think it adds a lot of character to it. You can really see it. Yeah, that looks good. I really like that. And I did not like the way it was written. That's the instructions for the bead stitch. And what threw me was, it says yarn over, insert hook around the post of the stitch indicated, yarn over, pull the loop through 3 times around the same post. But what I was missing in the process was, you were basically going yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, till you had 6 of them on there. And then you did the last one and you pull it all through. Well, I was trying to pull it through with each grouping, and it was not working out. So I finally found a little video which showed me how to do it. One time she showed me, I'm like, oh, okay. So basically you're stitching around one of these double crochets a whole bunch of times, and you pull it all through, and then you pull it through the last time to kind of lock the stitch. And once I learned that, I just went to town. And then the rest were 2 rows of half double crochets, the seed stitch, 2 rows of half double crochets. So then, yeah, so that caught me up. So then I was gonna try the next row, which they're calling double crochet lace strips. Super simple. So that's what I'm working on here. You see how that looks? And it's really simple. We did half double all the way down. And then on here I'm doing 2 doubles, chain 2, skip 2, 2 doubles, chain 2, skip 2. Easy peasy. Makes a little pretty box stitch. That's what I would call that, is a box stitch. I like the way it's looking. I'm so proud of this. Now you can see it. And I'm liking the way it's looking a whole lot. And I was trying to get ahead. I was trying to finish this row last night so I could get ahead a little bit, because I'm not going to be able to take this one with me. Can only take so many projects. You know how that goes. I'm going to work on this and this and this, and you don't work on any of them. So my goal. Okay, here's my goal. I'm trying to think out loud. This week we got a lot going on. I've got the reception Saturday, so the weekend shot. We got family in town for that, so I know I'm not going to get much done this weekend. And then Monday we have bingo. Don't forget to sign up for your bingo numbers. And then plus I have meetings on Monday. Tuesday, we have our interview. Make sure you come and watch our interview this week. I'm so excited. We're going to be interviewing Glenda. Glenda from Creative Crochet. And, you know, since the lives are recorded, it doesn't matter if you miss it or not. You can always come back and watch it later. And then Wednesday, we have the second part of the mosaic. So we're going to learn how to put the edges. We're going to learn how to deal with the edges on our mosaic crochet. And then Thursday, I leave. So, yeah, that does not bode well for getting anything done this week. All right, so my goal is finish the edge on this, because this I can take with me in the car real easy. This I want to take in the car with me, because this is going to be easy to pack and work on. So what am I doing here? I'm in the middle of the second row. I'll finish the second row while I'm traveling, and hopefully finish, not row, the second section. I'll for sure finish the second section. I will focus on finishing the third section. And if I get that done, it's going to be a miracle. I can't imagine getting this done. Oh, and then my top. No, it's not going to happen, you guys. It's just not going to happen this week. So, this week, my goal, the edges done on that, and possibly, maybe, perhaps, getting through the third section on this. For sure, I'll get through the second. Okay, so my goal will be finish the second section and get a good head start on the third section. That's all I can reasonably expect to get done this week. And if we get anything else done, that'll be a bonus. So that's it. That's my update. How's your week going? What are you guys working on? Got some exciting things coming up. I just had an idea as I was walking out here today. I had an idea for something that I think might be fun. In fact, I'll bring it up in Monday night's bingo, and y'all tell me what you think about it. Because I don't have enough going on, right? So that's it. That's it for Finish It Friday. Went a little bit longer than I expected to. And we'll talk to you guys later on. Bye-bye. Stay safe.